2, and you're on.
We are going to cover the basics from you pulling your rod out of your kit to almost final assembly. The first thing you do is naturally you have your rod blank. This will be the bottom where your handle and your reel seat go. As you notice, the handle will not fit, so you must ream out your handle. Power reamer, just slowly back and forth as you are inserting downward pressure.
Do not force
Yeah, do not force it. Every now and then stop, blow out your dust, and begin again. And I can tell by this handle and this rod, this is the smallest reamer. We'll probably be going up to at least the second, if not the third size up. But just let it do its job, little by little. Do not force it or you will crack. If not crack, you'll go off center. And then you will have an off center. Every now and then, check it, see what your progress is. As you can see, because we want this handle, which has to go where your hand is at the butt, we want to slide resistance free. As you can see, we still have resistance.
with enough gap for your esophagus.
Going to the next class next size because I want all the way to in. Almost. I'm just going to say that.
Might help for your measurements. So. There you go.
Thank you. Little more. The reason why you don't want to force it through, because as you can see, the thickness of the thicklessness of the end is very thin, and if you force it or force it down on the rod, it will crack, it will split. That's perfect. Now you have your reel seat. Same thing. If you notice, your reel seat is very loose, very loose. So how we're going to do that is we're going to build up with masking tape. You can use wallpaper tape. You can do masking tape. They have that duct tape. I have found I've never had any issues with regular old masking tape. And all you're going to do is you are going to mark right above the top of your reel. I just put it in, set it on the ground, level surface, and drew a mark. I'll then take masking tape, and right where my mark that I made from the top, I'll go like a thumbnail from that end. Just lay it on. You just go round and round. Check it. Still need more. It's the same thing. You just want a snug fit. And this reel seat does not have a wood insert. It is the same diameter from the butt to the tip. So now I'm going to take my tape, and I want to go the same thickness. I just go approximately half to a quarter inch from the end, and I just lay one down, stop it. You want to leave a gap between, if you have a smaller rod, you only may have 3 bands of tape. This one,
Here's a 2-weight.
yeah. As you can see, this one is a 2-weight. We only need 3, whereas this one.
Hold on, let me back up. I'm too tight. There we go. There you go. Go ahead and show it again.
As you can see, this is a 2-weight versus an 8-weight. The reel seat is smaller, so we only need a 3. But you want to have the gaps so the glue can not only get in there, and you also get on the tape to penetrate, to make the contact within the reel seat so you don't have a wobble. And I would just keep going, do more and more and more. Good?
Very good.
Damn, this is late.
Before you came, we used to have this, and they would say,
Go at it.
That's all right. We'll do that later. Now, explain to everybody what you're doing
Yeah.
now.
What I'm doing is I'm taking my reel seat and I'm looking to where the foot of the reel goes, which would naturally be on the bottom. And I am marking that, the center of where the foot of the reel goes into the reel seat. The reason I'm doing that is when I want to place it on my rod, I have writing on the rod where I want to align. So my writing is at 3 o'clock on my right as you're looking at the top of the rod. Damn, that's nice. I said, damn, that's nice. Oop. Okay, so I have prepped where my reel seat is going. I have my cap for my reel seat, and I have my handle. What I'm going to do is put everything a dry fit, and I'm going to mark where the top, where it comes out. And I am just using that a mark, so when I put down my glue, I'm not gluing up here. Everything is golden. Hell texting me.
What you need?
Let me turn this off. I have one.
Right there.
Just get it. In that box, there should be, that black box, in the base of it should be some more. Thank you.
And a little bit of sandpaper.
That's all right. I just use this.
Okay. Now explain what you're doing with that.
Yeah. What I did is, naturally, this rod is smooth, and inside of your reel handle is smooth. I just want to rough this up, so when we epoxy it, it will take. All I do is I took sandpaper. All I'm doing is scratching it, just to rough it up. I am not trying to take any paint off. I'm not trying to smooth it. I just take 120 grit sandpaper, and now all I'm doing is just cleaning the residue from the sanding, the sand dust off, and just setting that aside. So now I'm getting ready to glue. Gluing for your 70% alcohol is what I found works the best to take off glue residue. We are using a two-part epoxy, the hardening and the resin. Today we're using U40, so 50-50 mix, and plastic cup. Wooden tongue depressor. I have found that the wood is easier to get in there and grab it. And of course, paper towels. Plenty of paper towels. So, and all I do is I take a full sheet, rip it up in smaller pieces, so that way I can just pour glue, I can just pour alcohol right on a paper towel and get it. So, does not matter what you go first,
No.
the resin, but I just take even gobs. This is not your 5-minute epoxy, so you do have ample work time with it. Just take it. And when you're mixing it, you're not mixing it like a cake. You're just back and forth, folding it into it. As you probably couldn't tell, the hardener is like orangish yellow, and the resin is white or clear. And all you're doing is just trying to mix it back and forth, spreading it out so it's evenly mixed, one uniform color.
And the idea is not getting oxygen into the paste.
Yeah, because oxygen is not your friend, because it will create what's called a weak spot. And yes, you do get it pretty much everywhere. But you try and just mitigate that. You could wear gloves, but I know if I get glue on my fingers or on my hand, that if I'm touching another part of the rod, if I have glue on that, my fingers or hand, I don't want to use those or go clean up before I start getting it over everywhere. Once you are nicely mixed, you're going to glue your reel seat on first. You just start at the top, push down, spread, push down, spread, push down, spread. You need more, grab more. You're just filling all the gaps between the tape. Just spread it evenly if possible. If not, when you push the reel on there, make sure you have the bottom, top, bottom, open end, and all you're doing is just slowly getting it on there. I'm just going to push, pull, twist. Just push, pull, twist. You're just evenly spreading out the epoxy. As you see, I have a buildup on my threads. No worries. Just popsicle stick. Take it off. Now that I'm almost to the end, I'll pull it past the end. Take this and fold it into the bottom before I take my cap. My cap has got a little piece of tape on it so I don't lose it. Push that on and check it. And all I do is just push down. Set it aside. Take a couple of your lint-free towels, your 70% alcohol, and just clean up all your excess glue. You will always, not always, but a lot of times you'll get some residue glue in your threads. But as long as it's mixed with this alcohol, when you run your, after it dries, you run your threads, it'll come right off. Now I'm taking my tape, just pulling it up over my threads. And all this is so you can secure your butt cap and your reel seat to your pole. Give it a push. Now we're going to do our handle. We're taking where our mark was that we made, and same thing, just start like a thumbnail from your mark down, and the same thing, just spreading it out. Go all the way around. And take your handle. Before I do that, because I don't have much glue on here, but I want to get inside just a little dab. And once you hit the glue, same thing, just back and forth. Now we're going to line it. We'll take that mark that we put on our reel seat where the bottom of the foot. Oh, that's almost lined up perfect. You don't have a...
I didn't have any winding checks that small.
And that would be that as far as the glue. Now all we just do is take some more of your 70% alcohol and just clean up the rest of your rod just to make sure no glue prints. And that is it as far as gluing up your handle and your reel seat. Man, this is nice. Then one last check. Also, I forgot to mention, inside your reel foot, where the reel foot goes, make sure you don't have any glue in there as you were pushing it up or pushing it down. Because if you have glue in there, naturally it's going to cause a blockage. And the other thing also, I forgot to mention, is make sure that your reel and your nuts are installed correctly. You do not want this bottom reel seat to be facing the opposite direction, because when that happens, I've done that before. And now we're just going to set her aside. You want it to rest like this.
And about how many hours would that epoxy?
I always let, it's a chemical reaction, epoxy works. If you have an indoor room, 12 hours should be good. If you're into something that is like colder like it is today, I have mine. Everything I use, I go in my basement, and I work in my basement. My basement is like 66 degrees, and I let it overnight. I do it, set it aside, and just let it sit. Don't mess with it. Don't check on it. Just let it be.
8, 10, 12?
Easily.
Okay.
Whatever.
Easily.
Just don't. Like that. What's that thing, Ron? Which is it? Plug it in, place it, and forget it. That one thing you used to do. Yeah. Just forget it. Don't worry about it no more. Just let it sit till the next day.
All right, so what's your next step in the process?
Next step is we are going, oh, I need a tape measure.
Where's it at?
Should be in that top, that black box.
Got it. Boy, that's an old
Oh, yeah. All right. I think I have my pen. I do. All right, what we're going to do next after that's drying, your number 4 section is drying, we're going to what they call spining our rods and marking them. The spine is, you think of your human body. You can bend over and touch your toes. You cannot bend over backwards and touch your heels. That is the spine of the rod, the backbone of the rod. That's where when they put them in the mandrel, they cut the material, lay it in the mandrel, and they roll it. The place where the material rolls over the most is the heavy part or the spine of the rod. That is when you're fighting the fish, you're going to get that bend in the rod. That's what you want, that bend in the rod. When you're casting, it's going to go against the spine, just like you bending backwards, and then it's going to fly forward. That's what's going to get you. In order to spine the rod, you would just take the tip-top section and your butt section, just lay it, bend it in the palm of your hand. I'm right-handed, so naturally I use my right hand. And you just rolling it, and you're feeling it'll pop. It'll pop. It'll snap. And you're just feeling where the rod goes, it turns real quick. And it'll always go to that spine. Some rods or sections will have two spines because of the material. Those are like the really fast action ones where they don't have as much material. Instead of say like material goes 17 times, it only goes 10 times. That's where you get those really fast actions. Also the taper. So they may, but all you do is just bend it and you feel the pop and it'll land. All I do is I use a paint marker, you can use a grease pencil, you can use a crayon, and I just put a dot. And then I have found it easier for me if I close my eyes so I don't cheat. See, there's the second spine. But there's a prominent spine right there. It went right to where it was supposed to go. I now turn my dot into a line. That way I know, just like your backbone, a straight line. Because when I mark where my eyelets go, I would just use a dot. Reason I like to use a paint marker or Sharpie extra fine is by you handling the rod, trying to get your guides on, slide the little rubber mats over, use a grease pencil, I have found that it does come off. I also have found that it's easier to get this off with an alcohol, 70% alcohol or greater, than it is with a grease pencil, because the grease pencil was always leaving some type of mark. This is my second section. It's the same thing, but naturally you don't see I don't get as much flex out of it. So you just bend it, roll it, and it'll pop. Once it pops, I just mark it with a dot, bend it, roll it, and right on it. It has two spines. Doesn't matter which spine you use, not really. I find on the top section, you will find one more prominent than the other, then naturally use a more prominent one. Make my dot, take my dot, turn my dot into a line. This is the third section. This is a 4-piece pull, and actually you don't get hardly anything at all. When you do your third section, be very careful. You don't try and bend it like you did your first section, because then you will end up smashing your ferrule ends. You just bend it, roll it, bend it, roll it. Nothing. There's not much play in these, so I don't mark my number 3. You can. It's very hard to feel it, and I don't want to smash my ferrule end. Naturally, 4th section we've already glued together, and that is that. Now we're going to go into marking. This pole is a 10'3". I do not have a 10-foot table at my house. So what I do is I take the tape measure. I will start out with number 1. I will just lay it on the end. I take my spine mark, the straight line, and I lay it on the tape measure so that it is looking at me. That way when I put my marks on the pole, my marks will be on the side and not on the top or the bottom or cattywampus, only because it's easier to clean up to get this off if you can see it in the middle of the thing after your guides are wrapped, instead of trying to clean it through your guides. We're looking at our 10'3". The first mark is 4 feet 5 inches. So my tip of my rod is at the end of the tape measure. I go down to 4.5 inches and put a dot.
You mentioned 4 feet.
Did I say 4 feet?
Yeah, you said 4. It's
Oh.
inches. I was about to say, that's a deep first eye.
Yes. Yeah, 4.5 4.5 inches. Then my second mark is 9 inches, 9 and 11/16 inches. So I'll go to 9 and 11/16 and put another little mark. What did I say?
9 and 11/16.
Yeah, see, I can't even remember numbers. And put another mark, or a dot. Then I'll go 15 and 5/8. I'll go to 15 and 5/8. And put another little mark.
22 and a quarter.
22 and a quarter. I like those. What's the next?
29 5/8.
Really? Really, I said. 29 5/8. Oh, wait a minute, I got glasses. Okay, so I have done that. And all I do is I'm now going to take my second piece, attach it to my first, and I'm going to line up. So I know my dots are on top. I take my spine and my spine, closely match them up, and then all I do is just take my tape measure. What was that last mark? Wait here. It was 39 or something like that?
29 and 5/8.
There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start here and take my last dot I made, which is 29 and 5/8. Find 29 and 5/8 right there, lay it on it, and then my next
37 and 3/4.
3/4 right there, and put a dot. Oh shit, that pen exploded. See the paint? Now you can see what really happens. The paint marker exploded. And watch how easy this comes off. Whoop. Brand new. All right. What was it? 29 and I have to go back now.
29 5/8.
29 5/8. Okay. And then next
37 3/4.
37 3/4. 39 and 3/4. Check.
Okay. Let's see. What did we just do?
39 and
37 3/4.
oh, 37 3/4. 37 3/4.
Little different there.
That's all right. But it comes off, so. All right, next.
46 and 9/16.
46 and 9/16. Okay.
56 and 1/16.
Well, they're really technical. Okay.
66.
Okay, so now I need to move. So I will just take off my first piece, add my third piece, push in.
Your last mark is 56 and 1/16.
56, I'll find 56. 56 and 1/16, okay.
Next is 66 and 5/16.
66 and 5/16. Okay.
77 and 5/16.
77 and 5/16. And check. That's it, right?
And 89 even.
89 even. And check. And that is our pole spined and marked. Now,
Or rod if you're a fly fisherman.
What did
It's a regional.
I say? Yeah, all right. So now I'm just gonna let this dry for a second, clean up my mess, and then we're gonna get into grinding. But I can just set this here, and now we're gonna grind our eyelets. I like to cheat, and I like to use a Dremel tool. When you're grinding,
We'll just do one or two
Yeah.
of these. These are for 4-weight, not
Okay,
the
yeah,
8
all
that
right.
we've got on the table, so.
I don't even put it on, but just
yeah. What I do is I like to separate, take an inventory of all my guides, set them aside because they are different sizes. And this would be your very first guide from your handle up. This would be on your third section. First thing I will do is I'll set it down on a level surface, and I'm just checking.
Right about here.
I'm just
A
checking.
little lower. Right there you go.
I am just checking to make sure that the guide feet are not twisted, not overly bent. Just lay it on that my hand or arm is not a level surface, but as you can see, it's not bent, it's not manufactured. And I like to take the Dremel, here, let me stand, if I do it like this,
No, you're good. I'll
Okay.
zoom in and out on you.
I'll take my guide and I'll place it so I'm looking directly down on it, and I'm trying to take this Dremel tool to make the ramp so the thread as you're going, because the thread diameter is less than this, so you're almost want it to a point. And just very briefly just touch it. I'm checking underneath to make sure there is no burrs. If there is a burr, I would just hold it like that or like that, just to take it, just to touch it.
So you're filing down the top of the foot of the eye, not
Yeah.
the bottom,
Right.
unless it's burred.
Correct. Yeah. Don't even mess with the bottom. As you'll see it, they are like concaved. That's what helps it hold on to the pole when it's concave. Actually, you just do both edges. Once I think it's good, I will set it in my done pile, go on to the next one. Now with the snake guides, all they do is when they make these, they just take wire, twist, hammer, cut, hammer, cut. This one brand here is nothing is done on them. They're just like blunt cut. You may have to work a little more than this, and the same thing. I don't want to heat it up. I don't want to grind on it. I just touch, then I'll turn it around, do the other end, touch, look at it, may have to go back, touch. Don't just hammer down and grind on it, because next thing you know, you're going to go from what's possibly a ½ inch to a ¼ inch. And this is what holds on. You don't want to take anything off of here. You're just shaping it. That's the word, shape.
Modifying the ramp.
Yeah, shaping, same thing. You're just doing. If you don't have a Dremel, and all this is 120 grit, don't use anything above 120. You can feel it, it roughs it up a bit. You can then go, I don't know, 220 grit or whatever they come in, a little smaller grip. But it'll hold, it'll work. And just the only way you're really going to find out if you did a good job, you can judge it with your eyes all day long, is once you put it on your pole and you try to wrap thread on it. If it's fighting you, keeps hopping, take it off, just grind a little more. Don't get frustrated. I always start with the second section going from the top because these guides are a lot easier to put on and to trim than these little tiny ones at the top. And just starting out, you don't want to get frustrated. It's a fun hobby. You could really enjoy it. You can definitely save yourself some money. And now we're going to go into putting on a guide. Oh, you know what I need? I need the tubes. They're it's in a bag. It's like oxygen tubes.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it. Perfect. All you do is, with this fancy dancy thing, you put your spool, whatever side, left, right. There has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyelets. This is your tensioner. All you do is go from this spool to this first hook. You may have to twist it so the opening is facing outboard. And then the center one really doesn't matter. It's just a guide from the spool. It goes to your tensioner. And then through your tensioner eyelet. Just back off some thread to your front guide. Just leave yourself enough room so there's nothing on the tensioner. Just take your rod through your holders. Take your black bands.
Okay, now before you start, I'm going to move the camera position to behind you.
Okay.
So we can get in close on your hands as you do this next portion here. And we're on.
All right. First thing I'm going to do, once we have everything set and we're going to start wrapping, I'm just going to go over how to start, how to wrap, then we'll go over to the guides. You can either use scissors to cut your thread or a razor blade. Preferably, if you use a razor blade, make sure it's brand new. That's how you get a clean cut. Take some of your isopropyl alcohol and clean your blade first, because I'm sure there's some type of packing oil or something on here. We don't want any marks in our thread. Once I have everything all set, I just take my, put my clickers on so I can see. You take your thread, and I have too much right now, so I'm just backing it up. You see how the tensioner moves? When you pull it, if you don't get any thread movement, you may need to back this off, your adjustments, because you want your thread to pull. You don't want it too tight, where if it's too tight, it'll change the diameter of your thread, and it does have the tendency to make thread different. It'll change the color of your thread. I am right-handed. We're going to be wrapping to the right. This is the butt, this is the tip. Just going to go over, under, right next to it, over, under, right next to it. Everything is going this way. I just hold my tag end up, take my thumb, cross over those two, and just hold that. Let my tag go.
Moving towards the tip.
Towards the tip. And all I'm doing is just rolling. Once I have just crossed my tag one time. This guide bar, which is on your thread, you either want to be to the left of the direction you are going, or you want it to be straight. That way it'll put your thread so they're against each other. With these hand wrappers, you have to watch. Sometimes your rod will want to move. You can tell by your threads. As you see, I don't have a tight gap yet. We're going to fix that. I've only gone twice over my tag. There's 3. You see how it's got a slight gap here? All you can do is just push it. Just slow, just closing the gap. If it crosses over, just push it back. All right, there's 4 times. Between 3 and 4 wraps. Then I cut my tag, throw it aside. Now, all you're going to do is just keep rolling. Make sure it doesn't cross over, and pack. See, I'm just packing with my finger. Is my tensioner. It's not. There we go. Now she's groovy. As you see, that's too loose. If that happens, that's easy. Just tighten it up. Well, you always want to have tension. You may find out, like this one here, I may have it hooked up wrong. I don't know, but you should be able to just go to town and just keep wrapping. Okay, now we're just showing how the basic goes. Now you're going to need a pull. I've made this pull out of just some of the string. All it is a loop. You're going to go under, and then you're just going to, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anywhere between 3 and 5. Don't do more than 5. Place your finger on the top. Hold what you just did. Get rid of some of your tension. And then just cut. Now you take this new tag in, put it through your loop, pull this towards you. Now you still have tension. Grab the end of your pull and pull it. I cut, once I believe I have 2 inches enough for my fat fingers to grab. If I have a lot of left over, and you just pull it through. Reason I like to make these out of fishing line, like 6 pound. because the nylon slides better and it has less chance of it breaking.
Alternatively, you can use the little dollar store dental.
Yep.
Dental floss loops that they already have. Those work really well as well. They're typically blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything strong. Now, how do I get rid of this tag without just cutting it off? What I do is, it went in this way from the tip to the butt. If you pull it, you see how it opens up. You see that, how it opens up? I just take my razor blade, hold it right against it, and just pull it. Then I take burnishing tool and just back and forth. I use the flat part, use the round part, pack it. All I'm doing is I'm pushing towards the butt. And that's it. And that's basically how a wrap will go. You can go both ways to pack it. You can make them as long or as small. What I do, where did I do it? I'm going to put a guide on this one. It's the same principle, exact same principle. On this is section number 2. This gets the foot. What I will do is I will take graph paper. The top is the center. That's where when you're going to put it on here, your guide, the top is your center, where it comes to the peak. That's where your dot goes. What I do is I take graph paper and I put my top this oh man, I should have used black. Say this is my center. You will find that
Zoom in on here.
I can move this out.
Having some issues. You're good.
I'll take the guide that I'm going to be placing, and I just use graph paper. To me, it's the easiest. This is your center. And then if you look 1, 2 blocks, this will be one end. Then just to make sure they match, 1, 2, this will be the end. But if I go on the center, I have a little gap here, which is like 3 threads, versus the other is right on it. So what I'll do is when I go to place this on the rod, I will use a pencil and I'll take my little graph paper and I'll center my rod. Is good up here? You want
You're good. You're good.
And where my lines are, this ain't gonna. I'll just mark it with a pencil. It's probably hard for you to see, but all I did was I transferred my marks from the center to the edges. Now I know on this section, all these guides are the same size, so I can use this template for all of them. Then, now we place our guides. I put 2 bands. These are like the dental bands. And I just that's what's holding my guides onto the rod. pencil mark, pencil mark. And the pencil mark is where I'm going to be starting my thread. And I need that. Let's go. All right, so I'm going to take where my pencil mark is. Dang. And I'm just going to go right to the left of my mark, my pencil mark, go over the rod, come under to the right of that string, over the rod to the right of the 2, and then just hold it up. Take my thumb, place it on the 2 wraps, hold it as I go over the tag. And then just let your tag go. And that's 1. Dang this thing. If your tensioner goes like mine, then just keep tension on it and it won't go anywhere. It's hard to 2. 3. And just, you can pack to your left, pack to your right.
So typically, how many thread wraps do you have before you start ramping onto your foot?
I try and keep it as close as possible, depending on the section. If it is, this is section number 2. This is the one I will do if there's going to be like trim bands or something like that. But I try and keep it as close as possible.
2 to
With
3 wraps
2 to
before
3
you start ramping.
Yes. Especially on the number 1, I try and keep as close because that's where you're getting the most flex of the rod. You don't want to have your wrap start way out here because then now you have epoxy, which is taken away from the flex of the rod. But like I said, I just go around 2-3 times, cut my tag, and then just start wrapping. This is further because she jumped. But then once I get close to the foot, you just got to watch so it doesn't just start pushing. What I will do, once I'm close to the foot, I will take the thread and place it on the foot and come down, place it another one on the foot, come down, and just do a few of those, and then just start trying to pack the whole, slowly as you roll, just pack towards. Okay, as you see, I'm on the foot, but it's cattywampus. It's all jiggly. I didn't even guide, I didn't sand this foot, and I just wanted to show you. So I, thumb, finger, whatever, push this, left side, right side, push them together. Left side, right side, so you're pushing, you're manipulating the threads to go from right to left, but you're just holding with my left hand just so we don't chase the alignment. sometimes the thread will jump over top of each other. Just pick it up and move it, pick it up and move it. Just checking, we're not hopping. And we're gold. Son of a bitch. All right, once I get close to my band, then I'll take your clean razor blade. Be careful not to cut your thread and just pop it. And then once I've cut that band, I'll check my distance from my thread to the end, from here to the top where it starts to go up, the bend. I only want to have a few threads, like 3 to 5. That gap is almost not enough. So what I can do, I can back it off. As long as I have tension on my thread, it won't hurt anything. Like I said, I like to have 3 to 5 when I put the pull in of turns. I'll take my pull. This is the bottom side of your eyelet. I either go to the bottom side, which would be the top of your pull, or to the right as I'm looking at it. That way when you're pulling through, the thread can only go like a quarter of a turn, so it's not interfering with the eyelet and everything unwraps. So I've got my pull in. Let's go 1, 2. I'm golden. At least I got 3 in there. The reason you don't want to go more than 5 or 6, or say 5, is because then you're really putting tension and you might undo the tightness of your end wraps as you're pulling your pull through your thread. As you see, I've got gaps all through it. We'll fix that with the burnishing tool. I am past. I'm right where I want to end. Don't want to climb up. Just go a little bit past, so it's very at the top. My pull. Put my finger on it. Cut. Go through the eyelet or through the pull eye. Hold tension with these right fingers. I'm trying to get it so I can see. And then just start to pull your pull. And the same thing, once I get the pull, I just cut this so we're not jeopardizing, because you don't want to break here. You want to make sure that was a successful pull. What I like to do next, before is just take your burnishing tool, lightly go back and forth. What you do is where we had that gap in here in the threads, it'll close it up. See? All smooth, looks like paint. Just lightly back and forth. Now we'll go back to our tag, pulling it so it opens a gap. Really put some tension on it. And you cut it. As you can see, I got a little tag. All you got to do is open it up right at that tag. Slide it in. Burnish over. Now you can still see it. If you don't have a burnishing tool, you can use a Bic pen, anything plastic. The only thing is you don't want to rub too hard, because then you're just spreading out your threads and you just erase everything that you have done. packet, which is just pushing them together back and forth. And once you're satisfied with that, then you move on to the next one.
All right, that should have us caught up to where we are in class.
Perfect.
Anything else you need to add?
No, just take your time. Don't get frustrated.
It's all about line control.
Yeah, just like fishing.